Hey, everybody. It's me, Teri Hunter, and I've come in on this Wednesday evening in the Pacific time to just kind of have a impromptu live hangout. Didn't know if anybody would show up, but I thought I would offer a one question reading to everybody. Not everybody, excuse me, can't say that. But for those of you that do show up and put a question in the chat, I'm willing to do a reading for you. One card, one question. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. Welcome. Would you like to ask a question in this pre-eclipse? Hey, Sacred Owl, good to see you. I just thought I'd come in, hang out, see if you guys, personal question for you guys. Just one kind of, how you can manage through this eclipse time, Pluto's stationing. Hi, CJD. So I thought, okay, Jennifer, you were first in. What would you like to ask Spirit? We're going to do one card with each deck and see what they have to say. Thank you, Sacred Owl. I'm just, it's been an interesting week. I keep getting compelled. Hey, Juan, good to see you. I just started this live, very impromptu. I was doing my meditation this morning and I got this pull that maybe people were feeling a little challenged, needed a little support as we walk into this eclipse and Pluto all happening at the same time. And then I meditate. I was not really meditating. I was kind of just putzing around doing my laundry. And then I got the same pull. So here I am. So Miss Jennifer, did you write a question for me? Can you pull a card to tell me anything about me and the Leo I'm interested in? Well, let's look and see. So for those of you that are popping in, I just thought I would do one card, one question for those of you that pop in. We're not going to go crazy, but, right now we're totally manageable. So everybody think of a question. We're starting with Jennifer, and we're going to pull one card about our Leo man. I'm assuming you said it was a man. Oh, Leo, you're interested in? All right. Okay. Let me shuffle the other deck too. Oops. Jennifer, real quick, tell me what your sun sign is. Give me a birth date so I can tune into you a little bit more succinctly. Capricorn. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to pull one angel card and one Camelot card. And what do we get? All right. So we got the burden and we got Shanti, offering peace. So let's see how I would interpret this. The first thing I want to say to you, Jennifer, is take it slow and easy. Give your Leo time to, Saturn's transiting Aquarius, which is opposing Leo. I feel as if the burden is not a burden, but you may be more clear on liking him and wanting to move the story forward. So I think maybe the burden is feeling peace while you allow yourself the journey of him coming towards you versus you sort of saying, I really like you. Let's move the story forward. So let me just pull one more because that burden's a little bit tough. Okay, I'm right. I want you to just start to enjoy yourself. Remember, Leos like to have fun, okay? So your job with this relationship as it is coming into blossom is to be fun and have fun and be joyous. And don't worry, because, it's so often when we start to find someone we like, we get really kind of, oh no, I like somebody. Oh no, they're going to disappear. Oh no, I'm going to have to go in that crazy abyss of the internet dating. Don't do that. So just let yourself enjoy yourself. Okay, who wants to ask another question? Let's see who was second in the room. Sacred Owl, you're up next. Do you want to ask something? me see if I can make my screen a little bit bigger. There we go. You're welcome, Jennifer. I feel pretty good about it. Just don't get too, don't be too goat-like. Don't push up the hill. Let the fun come to you. Okay. Sacred Owl, do you want to do a question? Give me a thumbs up if you do. Yes. What can I look at? Whatever you want. You get one question. And everybody else, if you want a question, Prudence, if you want to ask, Juan, you can ask. CJD, everybody in the room, Natalia, just start thinking of a question right now, and so you're ready. And who's going to be up after Sacred Owl? I'm going to look at the top of the chat, and that would be CJD would be next. Then Juan, if you want to ask a question, then Michelle, then Prudence, then post it up. Natalia, okay, all right. Sacred Owl, what area should I focus on? Is that what your question is? I think that's your question. So let's see what Spirit has to say. What area should you focus on? Well, the first thing I get as I start to tune in is should is not really a word Spirit likes. Spirit likes get to. Anything that feels like it's fun. Again, I don't want to trivialize this, but the human has inadvertently made the earthly experience extremely arduous and burdensome, to use a word. And so really, where should you focus? Spirit would say, well, what do you want to focus on? And is it fun? So let's see what they have to say. Our Sacred Owl, you just pulled the joy card. Now let's see what angel comes out. Because right now in these challenging times, and with this eclipse coming, everybody is a late Capricorn, late Cancer, late Aries or Libra, squaring Pluto. It's like boom, back and forth and back and forth. And I really don't think Pluto wants to completely destroy us as much as Pluto is really taking no prisoners when it comes to our happiness. So if we go down to that deepest part of like, okay, what if this is the rewrite? And we're here to hold the balance for it. So joining the joy card is the light worker. So Sacred Owl, is it Scarred Owl or is it Sacred? Because I see now you have 2 R's in there. I've been calling you Sacred Owl. I think I like that better. If it's Scarred, I feel sad. Maybe Sacred has 2 R's and I can't spell. I don't know, but I think I got it right. There's the light worker card. This is the joy card. And this is not about finding joy in inauthentic places. I think the focus is on, if there is disruption, how can I foster Venusian energies that foster my peace? When I think I've mentioned on the Sunday show that when I was talking to Brian Coulter in one of our mentoring sessions, I mentioned all the Pluto squares, and he said, well, Teri, you should do Venusian things. And for a long time, I didn't feel really inspired, but I did a lot of diamond art, and I felt like it helped calm me down. I kind of gave myself permission for Spirit to inspire me. And then when I look, and in hindsight, lots of the things that have transpired have made sense as to why the timing is more fruitful now than it was before. So I would say for Sacred Owl, anything that brings you joy, from reading to the crossword puzzle, to motocross, to painting, to movies, to jogging. I really don't care what the genre is. So there you go. And I want to say this too, you do not need the approval of others to feel joy. So this is about you as an individual. This is about you and your wants and desires. Okay, Juan, I think you're next. Let me go look at the top. Yes. Oh, CJD is next, and then Juan. Okay, CJD, do you want to ask a question? J. Marie, you got to get in line. We're starting at the top of the chat, and I'm working my way down. We're going to be doing this for about a half hour, because if it gets crazy busy in here, I won't do it all night, but I'll try to get to everybody. Okay, CJD, your question is, what do I need to know right now? Okay, let's look. And again, I want you guys to start to phrase these questions as what do I get to know right now? What opportunities spirit bringing? The human naturally, it doesn't mean to, but the vibrational dynamic of these words, it feels inconsequential, but the subtlety of the word need, it feels heavy. So that's why I want you to be like kind of just a little more mindful. So let's look and see, CJD, what does spirit get to let you know right now? I bet we'll get to you, J. Marie. Don't worry. This is as fun for me. I mean, I actually love doing this stuff. This is my entertainment and my work. Okay, CJD, our only angel is Omega and the King. Victory is upon you, my dear. And I want to offer it this way because I could look at it as a relationship and maybe, but I think it has more to do with justice, karmic chapter, something coming to you. And now it's time to take reign, REIGN, of your world. And I want to offer it this way as well, because those of you who have been doing the work, and lots of you have, it's time to stop the work and start to sit in the observation of yourself applying the work. So I really think literally Omega says, victory is coming. Your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. And the good work is inviting it in, staying in that place of receptive energy, not getting too locked up. And I want to say it this way, because this also represents things pertaining to the law and male authority. Not male authority, but males and authority. So I want to offer it this way. If there's something going on where you've had challenges with an authority figure, or maybe a court case, or even a ticket that you were fighting, I think you're going to be victorious about it. And I think part of it is because of the way you are using your thought process. When I look at the King, look at the sword. Do you see how he's not holding on to it? It's sort of sitting there in case he needs it. If we think about the tarot deck, the swords represent our air element, the thought element, and the Ace of Swords represents the initial thought. So whatever's going on feels to me a little bit like this is about being relaxed in your thought. And if indeed this has to do with Ant and there's some resistance, then you being calm, cool, and collected about him processing it, then don't worry about it, because apparently you're going to be victorious. Okay. Juan, you're next. What would you like to ask? Okay, can you tell me something about the dream I had where everything became blue? Normal city turned a corner and everything was blue. Well, the first thing I associate with the blue color is the throat chakra. And I mean, this is a very general what you're telling me, but if you think about it, a city is where you live, and the throat chakra would be communications. It would be also, oceans and water. So I wonder if, let me pull a spread real quick, because there was something about feeling more comfortable within the city that I live to speak my voice. And I don't know that this is a voice that has to necessarily be a challenge, like I don't like this, but rather an ease of conversation. Okay. All right. So here we go, Juan. Let's see what Spirit has to say about the general message from that dream. Because blue to me is also the color of, if you pay attention to like any alien stuff, it's the Palladians, and the Palladians are considered a very highly evolved energy. So they have this sort of blue light. So there's a very strong spiritual connection for me with the color blue, not just within my voice, but in my vibration. But let's see. All right. Well, Juan, you got Athena saying it's safe for you to lovingly assert yourself. And I think the fire fairy represents actually expecting a more positive outcome from whatever it is. And I wonder, as I said, the city where you live, I really did not think it was like a city as much as it may be work environment. I kind of feel like some of these people, we work in structures that create little cities. Now, I know you don't work in Intel or on the internet. I mean, you don't work for an internet company, but some of these internet companies have little cities, like they have their own cafeteria and their own blah, 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 blah. I think that this talks about your work environment and things actually becoming more, you being able to speak your voice a little bit more, maybe being more recognized. And this is a turn that maybe you haven't experienced in your dream. And I think it actually doesn't feel like it's like you actually approaching somebody and wanting to say something. I think somebody may approach you and ask for your opinion about something. And I feel as if it's a time to trust whatever your observations are. And, we are all human. So it's not about throwing anybody under the bus, but about helping things get more balanced in the work environment. I don't know why I want to go there. Because I don't know. I just do. I just can't help myself. There's nothing here that really says work, but it doesn't feel like it's like a creative project. It feels more like thinking optimism in the face of, I want to say, established structure. It's almost as if you, like when I think about certain companies, they have established structures that when people contemplate movement within that, they go, oh, that won't happen because of blah, 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 blah. This eclipse, and then we have, of course, the solar eclipse. So then the lunar eclipse. So this solar eclipse that we're talking about, the Pluto retrograde, could bring around some optimism within your work environment. And let me offer it this way, because the structure may not be the actual process of what you do, but there may be a new person that comes in that is of authority in some way. And because they're new and they're in authority, they may talk to the people that are established there, and it may infuse a new energy. I don't even know why I'm saying any of this, because I don't think your environment changes that much, but it may change out of the blue. I can't help but think that. All right, who's next? Let's see. After Juan, we have Michelle. Do you want to ask a question, Michelle? It's not as cool as your dream interpreter, but it is. Okay, Michelle, will moving from this area be beneficial to me, or should I hold on to my property? Ascendant 27 degrees is square trans. Okay, what is your ascendant? Is it Libra or is it Aries? Sun is Virgo, so it must be, what is it? Your ascendant is Aries? Yeah? Sorry, Libra. Ascendant is Libra. Okay. So that puts Capricorn in your 4th house. All right, let's look. What is most beneficial for Michelle in the way of where she is planting herself to grow? Because if you stay on your property, you're planting yourself to grow there. And Pluto is going to just hover over you back and forth in this square. So it's going to be asking you to dig down deeper to a truth of your long-term happiness. And that Virgo sun may mess with you and say, I need to be practical. Your Virgo sun is right on my Venus, by the way. I have Venus at 10 degrees Virgo. Okay, let's pull one card for Michelle from the angel deck. It will be very interesting to see, Juan, if something changes in your work environment, because my logical brain doesn't think that's going to happen, but my logical brain has nothing to do with it. The messages from spirit are the messages from spirit. Okay. All right, Michelle. Okay, this is what spirit wants you to know. It's time for you to trust a deeper knowing. and to reach for the stars with your dreams and desires and not to compromise. And the first thing I thought is, rather than actually maybe sell your property, you might want to think about ways to explore the move without actually leaving your property. I mean, I almost feel like you could rent it, like almost a short-term rental, and give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, because the high priestess tells me that the move that you're making could potentially be based on something that is not completely aligned to what you want. It's like it feels like it's coming from more of a practical, logical place, and maybe that's the Virgo sun. And I feel like the Astera is saying, let me offer it this way, Michelle. Okay. When I moved to Laguna Beach, I did not think I could afford to live here. I did not think that, there would ever be a place. And Spirit kept saying, stop thinking and just tell people you want to live. I worked in a restaurant. So I feel as if there's some sort of weird exploration, because there's somebody I think that that might want to rent your property. I know this sounds strange to say, but as it comes through, there may be somebody in your environment that would need a leg up. And that way you could decide about selling it, because I actually just got a message that the market might be better for the seller in 6 months. I don't know what that means, because I think the real estate people have told me that the buyer's going to have more opportunities, but I think there's something different. And I don't know what it is about your property, but if you do decide to sell it, it feels as if the person that buys it would want to do something else with the property. That's the way I want to put it. I don't know if they would keep it for the way it is. So here, I want to say this, really dig deep into what your motives are, and if this is aligned to what you think your long-term happiness will be, and if this is where you would want to plant yourself, meaning wherever that would be. And then you got to give Spirit an opportunity to bring you something that would be. When I moved to Laguna, before I moved to Laguna, I got a job working for a bakery who had their office in Laguna Beach. There was little signs and omens, and there was a timing issue, because there's something about timing. Okay, who's after Michelle? Let me scroll up. Prudence, you're next. What would you like to, are you still here, Prudence? I want to sing a Beatles song right now. Hi, Heather. Hi, Saul. Hi, Marianne. Prudence. Okay. What's your question? So is it 12th house Taurus? Okay, Sun. And you're hoping for guidance around feeling stagnant. Well, you shouldn't feel stagnant for very long with Uranus headed your way. So maybe this is let's see what Spirit has to say about feeling stagnant. And I'm going to say, for any of you who are in the room right now and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It would really I'm so incredibly excited about subscriptions lately. So please do that. Okay, let's see. Prudence. What does Spirit say about this stagnation? I just heard them say there's an incubation going on during this stagnation. I don't know if it's a stagnation. Okay, there's an incubation period going on for you, Prudence. And I want to offer it this way, because here's the anger and the frustration represented by Archangel Uriel. So that's the stagnation is frustrating you, because Taurus wants to move forward. And I don't know the rest of your chart, but Taurus by nature, I'm a Taurus moon. I know I want to have an idea of where my security, where's my money coming from? Where's all my things look nice? I think something is brewing in the universe, and it's time for you to be gentle and diplomatic with yourself rather than being frustrated. I said earlier, I don't know if you heard me, but right now it might be a really good time for you to play in the Venusian world, right? as a Taurus sun, allowing yourself to maybe spruce up your home, fix your bedroom up, and take your eye off the stagnation. Take something in small little chunks, because frustration is right now feels like your inability to see spirit working for you. When the last year that I was on Lada's channel, I was feeling more increasingly frustrated. I can't blame her for anything, but I just felt like I was on some sort of hamster wheel, and I couldn't get any inspired ideas to do on my channel. And as y'all know, I jumped in January onto my own channel, and by February, the ideas and all the things I felt refreshed. And I did that jump because spirit inspired me. And I think if I had done it any sooner, it might not have been a good idea. So I want to say, for Prudence, dear Prudence, be gentle with yourself as you feel frustrated, and maybe play a little bit in art or sprucing something up, or maybe if you like to cook, just let yourself kind of go into, because I think cooking can be a meditation. I think art is a meditation. And I think if you take your eye off the prize, an inspired idea, or there could very well be somebody coming back from your past, because 12th house Taurus could be an unexpected karmic dynamic. And that person, in order to move your story forward, needs to journey your way. And your job is to stay a little bit in that higher realm of, and I say higher realm of thought when it's a 12th house, because it's a very spiritual house. So it's like going to that inner knowing, what you can't see with your eyes. And your Taurus is like, what? I need to see with my eyes. But something's coming. Yeah, love is coming. So if that's where you feel stagnant, my dear, it's not for long. So just hold tight. A lot of stuff's coming up, and not bad stuff like the news will tell you, because a lot of us are lining up to good things to represent the opposition of the bad things. Okay. Did that help? I hope. All right. Who's next? Let me look. All right. Got you. You posted up. I think you're next. Do you have a question? Or have you already given me your question? No, I don't see it yet. Don't have to be creative. Diamond art is not really creative. You have to be out of your mind and let yourself be open, because that trying to keep creative feels a little judgy to yourself. No questions coming posted? Do you want just a one, just to see what spirit wants to say? Just to say hi or anything? Hi, Dusk. Okay. All right. Let me look here. I will, Heather, thank you. So, okay. So I'm just lost who I was looking at. Okay. Posted up. All right. So let's do a quick one with posted up and see just what the angels want to say. And then we'll go next about the Saturn. Is Natalia next? Yeah. Oh, Natalia. No, wait, hold on. I think you're, I just want to make sure I'm getting everybody in order. Yeah, I am. Okay. All right, here we go. Post it up. Okay. This is what I want to offer. Teresa is about worry, and the butterfly is about transformation. And I want to give it this way. This is why I wanted to do this, because this Pluto going retrograde right the day before a solar eclipse, any eclipse is a fated event. I really want to offer this idea that many of the fated events that are teed up for people that have been paying attention and being conscious co-creators is a blossoming. I kind of want to say to you, post it up, individualize yourself from everybody else you know, because if their life is a shit show, it doesn't mean yours is going to be. And your job is to stay in alignment with the deeper truth of who you are, and to just keep staying focused in on the beauty in your life and what you want to experience. And Spirit's going to start to bring more and more experiences to you that will look like you're lucky, but you're not lucky. That's your point of attraction. Because I feel like, don't worry about other people right now, and don't get sucked into their Pluto stuff, because everybody's kind of having a moment. Hey, Welsh. Okay. I think Natalia's next. Let me go and see. Back up. Where am I? Okay, there's posted up. Yeah, Natalia, you're next. Okay, and so your question is, I'm trying to find it. I would like to ask about what I can expect from my Saturn return. I'm a little scared because I have Saturn in Aquarius in the 4th house at 29 degrees. Well, Natalia, let's just talk about the 29th degree just for a minute, because this is not something to be afraid of. The 29th degree is the degree of, in some ways, I think, mastering of a sign. So if your 4th house is Aquarius, there is something about you that gets to own the idea that the co-ruler of Aquarius is offering you reward as you allow for your individuality, as you allow for your intuition to know that the world, the world is transforming in ways. I've had 2 Saturn returns. So I know that when my first Saturn return came around, I wasn't scared. I felt liberated from a lot of the old rules that people had assigned to me. It's when I started to claim my life and to say, I want to live here and I want to do this and I want to perpetrate that. And then there was more journey to go. And by the time I had my second, it was like, okay, forget about it. But let's see what Spirit has to say, because I don't want you to be scared. I want you to use Saturn, because I want to offer it this way. When I meditate and talk to Saturn, he's like, look, everything evolves and I'm evolving as well. And while I'm always going to hold everybody's feet to the fire, if you're living authentically, you won't be depressed. You'll know you have hard work to do, but you'll trust the structure of that hard work and the focus of it. But if you're wanting to be an artist and you're working at pavilions, that job is going to drive you crazy, and Saturn is going to make you a little uncomfortable. So your authenticity to what you want in your 4th house, because the 4th house at the 29th degree is leaving the 4th house and going into the house of creativity, which is Pisces in the 5th. Your 5th must be Pisces. So you may have an amazing talent that you birth in that 5th house. Wow. No, it can't wait. What am I thinking? Right? Yeah, I got that right. 4th house Aquarius. Yeah, right? Confirm or deny. I think it's 5th house Pisces, right? All right. Well, let me just pull a spread real quick. Aquarius, but yeah, it has to be your 5th house, unless I'm a nut job. Well, that's possible. We all know that. All right. We have Indriel, the light worker. And I don't know about being a light worker as much as that's about inspiration. And then the protection card came out. I want to offer it this way. This is an opportunity for you to allow yourself to be free of that burden of Saturn hurting you, as much as Saturn's saying it's time for you to follow your inspirations and to be brave and to be a little bit fearless within your uniqueness, to allow yourself to be liberated. I've had Saturn sitting on my Chiron for a while, got a 22 degree Aquarian Chiron. And I thought, what a combination, right? Chiron, my wound, and then Saturn, let's just make you depressed about your wound. And you know what? I've had the opposite reaction to it. I've been really motivated to be more authentic to myself and super brave about that. So I think that, and this is the other thing I want to say, because the 38 reduces down to an 11, which is the master number of thought. 11 is the house of Aquarius, the 11th house. The natural house of Aquarius is networks. So while it is your home, the fourth house of home, I think this is about birthing your individual definition of how you feel at home. And I want to offer you that as you age and as you get seasoned on this planet, I want you to think of Saturn as your friend. And if you feel low for some reason, or you're having a Saturn aspect, ask yourself, what am I standing on that isn't authentic to my truth and my happiness anymore? Because Saturn ruling those old historic structures, oftentimes we build on a platform we're not even aware is an old structure. So that's what I want to say. Okay, who's next? Back up. Here I go. I think Saul's next. Saul, are you still with us? Let me look. Heather, wait, no. Let me look. Nope. Not Saul yet. Hold on, Saul. I got to go back and scroll. I didn't plan this very well. I got Prudence. I got Juan. I got J. Marie. Did you get a question? I don't think you got a question. I might have skipped you. Did I miss you? I think I did. J. Marie, do you have a question you want to ask? Saul, hang in there. I'll be with you. Katarina's next. Are you going to moderate for me, Juan? I would love that. Is Katarina before whoever I just said? J. Marie? I think J. Marie was, I'm going to go with J. Marie and then we'll get Katarina. And then Saul, you hang in there. Okay, J. Marie. I didn't get one. Sun is Leo, Ascendant Aquarius, Moon Pisces. Okay, my 12th house Capricorn. I need some clarity on a situation with Brandon. That's right, Brandon. All right, let's look. Whoops. Let's do a quick little spread on Brandon. All right, here we go. I want to offer it this way because, where did she go? J. Marie, there you are. Okay. Astera says to reach for the stars with your dreams and desires, and then the spider's there, and the spider is a relationship card for me. So I tend to think it's like this with him. I think we need to pay attention to how he's showing up for you. I don't know if Spirit wants you to focus on whether he likes you so much as I feel like Spirit wants you to focus in on if he makes you feel like he likes you. Because I'm getting a feeling like he might be slightly back and forth, and not in a negative way. You guys feel young to me, because I want to offer it this way. I think now is a time to start to, are you young? Are you kind of young? Because this guy feels young to me. He doesn't feel settled in his career. He doesn't feel settled in life. Are you young? Is he young? Well, okay. I'm going to say it this way, because I pulled the serpent on top of this, and I feel as if, J. Marie, you're 30. Okay. You may think you're old, but let me just laugh and tell you, he's 25. Okay. You got to really just let him come to you a little bit. Okay. Because I do think that this is about knowledge. And I think this is about that Pisces moon is going to be very intuitive, and you may intuit that he's on the fence, but I don't think that you need to stay on the fence with that. I think you need to see how he shows up and just to stay and remember what it is you really want in a relationship, because he feels like a nice guy, but he has a very boyish energy to me. So I'm not sure how. Is he a partier? Think about that, because if he's still in that whole bar scene, you may. Not saying he's a drunk or anything like that. I'm just saying that, he just has this weird young feeling to me. So I think his intentions towards you are not completely solid yet, to be honest with you, but I don't think that's negative. I think it's more about making sure he shows up. Because I'm going to tell you this, and I don't mean to be mean, but if you are too accommodating to him, he will take advantage of it. He won't mean to take advantage of it, but he will, because you'll be too nice. I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean that in a sort of, you deserve to be, you got to make sure your needs are taken care of too. Okay. Who's the next? Saul's next. Yeah. Saul, what's your question? Did you already give me your question? Juan, I think she just read her as a post. Did not want one. He has, so I cut him off. Just stay there for a while. Let him. Is Katarina next? I won't forget about you. Question above is for Saul. I'm lost somewhere in the chat. Let me look. I got to go back a ways to find him, which is kind of fun. There he is. Okay, Saul Lopez. Pisces ascendant, Leo on the day of the cusp. I have my conjunct Jupiter and my natal sun Venus in conjunction with my sun. How beautiful is that? Also at home 8. The eclipse given. I don't understand the question. I need help with the question. Hi, Terry G. Saul, give me your question again. Kind of give it to me as succinctly as you can. I'll get Katarina. We got Heather. Yeah, I think. Okay. Economy. You want to know, is this for your personal self or for the real world, for the everyday world? If it's the everyday world, you need to tell me where you are in the world. Because if you're in the United States, it could be very sketchy. Okay. Let's look at Saul and how his I'm going to look at you personally, finances, like you'll be okay. Yeah, you get to ask a question, Terry. We're going to do this for a little while and then, we're already at 40 minutes. Wow, that went fast. This year. Okay. Money for Saul for this year. How will that go? Oh, I like hanging around too, Heather. Thank you. All right, Saul, let's see. I've never done this before, by the way. This is a total first. Okay, Saul, your angel is Bridget and forgiveness. Okay, I want to tell you this right now. If you're doing anything that sounds as if you're going to make money fast, you might want to just not do it. Like, I almost feel like if you're into Bitcoin and all that, give it a minute to settle, because Bridget is saying to look deeper, but then there's the reconciliation card. So let me do a little bit of a clarification. What do they want you to look deeper in? I just felt like it isn't a good time to do anything that is, especially if you're in the United States. I just want to be a little bit careful. The United States is having its Pluto return. That's going to be really interesting because Capricorn is the United States' second house. Okay, so there is the Baird. I want to offer this. I think that you should be I think you should be mindful about how you're making your decisions. When I pull the Baird, there's a history here. And if for some reason you're trying, you know what, this is going to sound so weird to say this, but when my grandfather, as he was aging and he realized that both of his daughters were never going to make anything of themselves in the world, his whole focus was on creating money to secure his family's well-being. And it actually put a cap on things because there's something about your history that's coming in. And I think if you relax about how you're looking at this and you put a little bit more trust into things, like maybe not so much the economy, but your own personal economy, because forgiveness for me is a reconciliation. And somehow I have an opportunity to fix my history. But I want to say this too, because I think you got to ask yourself twice. Am I doing this because I think it's interesting? And am I willing to lose the money, or am I willing to invest money and have it not show results right away? Because for some reason I get this weird feeling of money coming and going for you. Just, I don't know. So if money has been going for some reason, money will come back and start to tell that story again. I did one more card because it made me feel like you're in a little bit of lack. So here's Fiona saying, now that you've asked God and the angels, be open to receiving. And when I say receiving, I mean divine guidance, not guidance from anybody you know. I'm in Mexico. Okay. Are you in Mexico? Are you are you living in Mexico right now? I don't know. There's something new about your energy, Saul. It makes me feel like you want to start something new and you've got an idea, but I feel like you need to let it percolate a little bit and not take action, to pay attention or do some more research or something. Live in Mexico. Okay. And I want to offer this then. If you are endeavoring something, like if you actually decide to endeavor in an investment, don't tell your family yet. Wait until after you've had a little bit of a journey with it, because I think they may inadvertently put a little rain on your parade, and I don't want them to do that. So, okay. All right. Where's my list, Juan? Who's next? I have, okay. Now I don't know where to go. Who's next? Katarina, are you next, or is Heather next? Excuse me. Marianne, Katarina, Dusk, Giselle. Wow. Okay. Trying to keep track of the questions. Okay. Heather is next. All right. Heather, what's your question? Oh, Katarina hasn't been answered. Okay. I don't have a question. Okay. Then I'm going to go on. Thank you, Heather, for giving up your turn. Katarina, what's your question? Gemini Sun, Libra Moon. My question again is, what opportunities do I have coming up? Okay, here we go. Marianne, yeah, post your question now. I'm going to do you next. I just realized I'm, again, out of order. Oh, yeah. The best laid plans of mice and men, right? All right, here we go. What opportunities does Katarina have coming up? I don't know what your situation is, Katarina, but I'm going to tell you, I think your social life is going to open up a little bit. And I almost feel as if I got the vulnerability of Yvonne and I got the transformation. And it's so funny because when I first felt this, I felt like you're a single woman. I felt like if you had any interest in love, you haven't had it in a while. And I kind of feel like now it's about being vulnerable, not to love like, oh, the way it was when we were teenagers, but just to open up to more. Like now I think your Gemini sun needs to kick in. Oh, and you have a Libra moon. Are you in a relationship, Miss Katarina? Are you involved with anybody? I'll take a yes or a no in the chat, because I think if not, it's time for you to put yourself in situations No, as I suspected. Now, don't get all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs here and think that I'm like thinking you need to go out and find. I'm talking companionship. I almost feel like it's like hanging out in places where you do things that you think are fun and then allow yourself to meet somebody else who's age appropriate. And it's time to get out of your head. Like your head's like, oh, I don't want all that. Sometimes when we get a little bit older, we think it's a pain in the ass to be in a relationship with someone. But I really think that this is cool. So I think it's time to open up just for some fun. And I think the Spirit's going to bring some companionship, and it's time to be vulnerable to that. Okay. Was Marianne next? Yes, indeed. I think she was. One. Okay, order Katerina. Marianne. All right. Marianne's question is, I want to know about my new job. I lost it because they aren't providing much. I'm lost because they're not providing much information. Scorpio, Sun, Sag, Moon, and Venus, Mars, and Leo. All right, let's see. Thank you, Juan. I so appreciate you. No idea. Okay, and then we're going to start to wrap this up in a little bit, guys. So if I haven't gotten to you guys at the end, don't be upset with me. We're going to work on it. I'm going to pop up and do all sorts of unexpected things lately. All right. Let's see, Marianne, how about this job? It's weird as I tune in, I almost feel like the uppers don't even know what to do with you or don't know what's going on for some reason. Let's see. Our angel is Chantal. And then we have focus. Well, that's very interesting. Chantal's normally a romance angel. She talks about romance coming into your life. But I want to offer this because when you asked the question, there was a little part of me that thought you took this job because you thought you needed some sort of financial security right now. And I'm not sure that you love this job, even the concept of it. Do you like this job? Do you like the industry that it's in? Because I feel a little bit like maybe you should be focusing in on a job that you really love. The thing about humans is that what happens is we take a job for money or to pay the rent or whatever, and we think, oh, it's just going to be temporary. And then we start to get there, we get used to it, and the paycheck comes in. And while we want to endeavor something that seems more fun, it feels lofty. And then we start to feel like, oh, my experience is in this way, blah, blah, blah. I think this is about using this job to start to really determine what it is you love and then allow yourself. Well, then I think you should not quit it, but stay there, collect whatever you can while you start to move towards what you love and allow this Pluto and this eclipse to bring in something new. Taurus is how you make your money through your skills. And then there's an idea that it's going to start something new that's going to take, fruition in 6 months. We have a 6-month period. And we also have that lunar eclipse in Scorpio that's coming up. So I think that this is not necessarily about love per se, but about focusing in on what you love. When I was, I started working for myself 8 years ago. And for the longest time, I believed everybody else when they said, you can't make a living at that. You can't make a living at that. And then one day my Aries rising got very pissed off and my Taurus moon stuck her bullish heels in the ground. And I said, watch me make money at this. Watch. Okay. I hope that answered your question. At dusk, what's up for you? What can I do for you? And I'm going to have to stop in a little bit. So we're going to try to pick this up again. Because if I try to get to everybody, I'm going to be here all night long. So at dusk, you're welcome, Marianne. Okay. At dusk, are you still with us? I'm waiting for the question. If I don't get something soon, I'm going to mosey on. Okay, great. Kate, get ready for your question. You're up next. Did we lose that dusk? I think we might have. All right, Miss Kate, we're going to go on to you. Elevate with Kate. What is your question for Spirit today? Yep, we'll give Kate a minute to respond. This was completely impromptu, Kedra. I just was doing my laundry and decided to come on. Okay, so I haven't heard from Elevate with Kate, so we'll go on to Giselle. Giselle, do you have a question for Spirit today? Remember, everybody, like and subscribe. Teri likes subscriptions. Oh, there she is. I have a Cancer Sun and a Scorpio rising, Taurus moon. I'm having my second Saturn return. Let's look. Hi, Benefit Boss. Welcome. I heard no, you will not lose your house. Let's look at Giselle. I got Athena as your angel. Do you think you have a little bit of burnout on your business, darling? Do you think you feel like it's been driving you instead of you've been driving it a little bit? Because I get a feeling of being tired from you. And I know I could infer that from the house, but I think that might be affecting the business. It feels a little bit like you have a financial, like it's heavy on your shoulders. Okay, I want to offer this. Giselle, if you're a little burnt out on your work, I want you to give life to new ideas. And I want to offer it this way. Venus rules your moon, and your moon rules your emotions. So I want to, because I started my business when I was I was 52. And wait, how old am I now? No, 54. Sorry, I had to do the math. Because what I did was I turned it around and said, if not now, when? Because I think that you need to pivot on the work idea, meaning I think there's a new idea. I love the entrepreneurial spirit that you have, but whatever it is you're doing now feels a little like it's run its course. But at the same time, I feel like when you don't look at it as the lion's share of how it makes your money, then it can open up and it will not be as burdensome as it was before when you allow for new inspirations. Because here's Pluto, basically, and here's time for you to lovingly assert yourself. And with this eclipse is literally 1 degree away from my moon. And there is a part of me that thinks I could be really scared of it because it triggers things in my chart. But I have to realize that I am actually the person who's driving the bus, not the planets. The planets are the environment I'm walking through. So for you, I think that it's time for you to start to assert yourself towards the idea of what you really want versus where you've been. And I don't think it's about, I don't think you're going to lose your house, but I feel like the house also feels a little bit of a burden. I don't know if you're carrying the lion's share of the financial weight in your home, or if you're carrying the lion's share of the worry about it. Let me pull one more card here. Everything's going to work out fine. And I'm going to offer you this because I think you're going to rise like the phoenix. I think this is what's going to happen is that you have an 11. Okay, Natalia. How funny. All right, let me go back. Where was I? Because I was talking not to Natalia. I was talking to Giselle. because I want to offer it this way. I think that Scorpio rising is asking you to be egoless in your worry about, because your rising and your moon are in opposition. My rising and my sun are in opposition. So they're not really fighting each other. It's just that it's asking you to dig deeper into what your skills are and what you want to do and where you want to move to, not to make the actual move, but to start to give life to it so that your current work can support the shift. Because there should be a shift coming. And I think somehow it's all going to end up working out in the 11th hour. And part of your job is to remember to invite that in. Okay. Where am I now? I think I have time for one more, and then we'll be at an hour, guys. I wish I could help that to get you all one. Who's next? Give me my last person. And we'll do this again, I promise. And we won't repeat. If I can remember, I'll try not to repeat the same people. Welsh is next. All right, Welsh, you get a question. What would you like to ask? Eclipse in your first house, so you get to plant the new seeds. You're a Taurus first house, huh? What degree is that at? Do you know? Virgo sun, Scorpio rising. Then this is not you. This is not happening in your first house. It's happening in your 7th house. Because if you're a Scorpio rising, the lunar eclipse will be in your first house. So this is giving you an opportunity to let's look at partnerships. What's your question, Welsh? Give me a straight up question. Little lassie, give me a question. Okay, her question is my home safe? What is my purpose in the community? And I just got a temp job, but long term. Okay, so let's just pull one. Angel is going to be Maya. And then we have the Lady of the Lake. Okay. This is what I want to say. Maya talks about schooling and education, and the Lady of the Lake talks about courage, self-respect, and responsibility. And what I want to offer is this. During this potential storm that you're going through, look at the Lady of the Lake's hands. Look at the sword. It's Excalibur of truth. It's about time to hold your sword of truth, the thoughts you have, lightly, my dear. I want to offer you this. I think you have a strong focus on lack. And that's what Spirit is fighting because if there's a part of you that wants to believe, and then your mind starts to go nuts, and then you kind of go back and forth. And I feel like this is where Spirit is saying, just focus in on us and say to yourself that this eclipse, you keep saying in my first house, but it's not your first house unless it's the lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse is in Taurus at 10 degrees. The lunar eclipse in May is in Scorpio. I can't remember. It's on the 15th. I can't remember the degrees right now. Oh, I think it's 25 degrees because, as I recall, it's going to be close to the nodes. Because I want to offer it this way. Welsh, this is time to really start to say, Spirit, thank you for giving me experiences that know that I'm safe, that let me know that I am accepted in these environments. I think you have a strong sense of protection. And sometimes once you get a stink on somebody, it's hard for you to let go of it. And I want to offer it this way too, because I don't want you to think, I want you to start to think that the universe is working for you, not against you. Because I want to say this, and I want to say it lovingly. I want to say it's important to think about how, when you express yourself, how people are receiving it. Because I think sometimes you think you're saying it one way, and maybe sometimes other people hear a tone of voice That's the way I want to put it. It's almost like the words are okay, but maybe there's a little bit of nervousness or panic or unsureness in your voice, and that's coming across. I've got Excalibur showing up for you twice here, and I want to offer this because sometimes when we need help and we aren't getting help, we want to get physically assertive with that. And sometimes it's best to be inspiringly enrolling. Yes, your home is safe. I don't feel anything negative around your home. I don't feel like anybody's targeting you. I feel like all the doors and windows are shut. But I also want to offer this. I want you to start to think that the 4 archangels are on each one of the corners of your home, whether it's an apartment or, an actual freestanding structure. And that while they are guarding over you, they are literally inspiring anybody who would have ill will to go elsewhere. But I want to offer this too, because I got the wasp in here. And that's where I want you to be careful of your own, be a little bit more mindful of how you're expressing yourself, because you may be able to say the same thing, but make it go down. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So, all right, guys, I was only going to do like a half hour. I didn't think anybody would show up. I was like, here it is. It's dinner time. It's people on the road. But I want to thank you all for showing up. I wanted to be here to help support you during this pre-eclipse time when the energies may feel like they're anchoring in and we're kind of bracing for something crazy. But we're here to represent the possibilities, not just be vulnerable to the old structures. So remember that, keep your eye on the prize, and I'll be there on Sunday, and keep an eye on the channel. I'm feel like I'm very inspired to produce a lot of stuff lately. So thanks everybody for showing up. And Kedra, maybe we can get to you next time. Well, I'm going to try to remember who I worked on this time. Maybe I'll go back and listen to it again and take notes. So when we do this again, new people will get a chance. Okay, guys, sending lots of love to you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I spent a lot of time being bullied when I was little. I was like, yeah, it wasn't very fun. But anyway, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate you all being here. Yeah, I'm going to go with CJD. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe and notify button. I'm going to have a super fun video on the lunar eclipse, kind of like I did with the solar eclipse. We're going to look at it because it's making aspects to Saturn. And we're going to look and see. And Saturn, I think, is in the 4th house on the day of the eclipse. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful couple of days. I'll see you on Sunday morning.